just a great team win. All three phases really contributed. I mean, we couldn't start off any tougher than what we did. I mean, 3 turnovers to safety, put our defense in a couple of tough spots in there. But our team just kept fighting, kept grinding. And you know, the drive right before half, I think, really kind of lit us on fire, and we were able to come out the second half and kind of take advantage of that. So big plays in special teams. You know, we start the second half off with the turnover there on special teams with Bryson. You know, Lachlan hit punts down inside the 5, which were amazing. Zach hit a big field goal there at the end. Just like I said, very proud of our football team, very proud of those guys for sticking together. We've always been a tough, gritty, hard-nosed, 60-minute football team, and proved it again tonight.
I think he was asking about the drive right before halftime.
Yeah, you know,
what that was.
I think we had, I don't know, a minute something left in the half, and you know, got in a couple of different formations. Zach got a couple of completions underneath his belt. We hit a couple of big plays, hit a kind of a post curl route there to JC, hit the flag in there, and then was able to connect and score. And so, you know, I think that just gave us some confidence, gave us some momentum going in at halftime. And then guys just kind of fed off of that. We knew we'd shot ourselves in the foot. We had things open in the first half that we didn't take advantage of. We finally did in that last drive, and then I think that kind of set the tone for what we knew we could do in the second half.
That first quarter when things were going that direction, you know, how were you able to keep, you know, I know your guys have been through a lot of battles, but that had to have been some adversity to weather there, you know, it was all happening back to back.
Yeah, I mean, obviously some adversity. That's a nice way to say it. But, you know, the first quarter was forever, right? I mean, a lot of those things happened right back to back. And, you know, we still had a ton of time left in this game. And we knew that we had the potential to do what we needed to do. We just needed to execute better, just kind of settle down. And obviously the drive before half helped that. Defense played great. And we just continued to keep leaning on each other.
When Zach, you know, when you saw him in that drive just before halftime, did you feel like, you know, once he got into rhythm, he was going to be able to continue that?
Yeah, I think he got into rhythm, but we also gave him a little bit more time, you know, gave him a little bit of time to really set his feet, kind of get in a groove. Receivers were running open and was throwing the ball lights out on that drive. And so, you know, really came in at halftime, kind of talked about those things and you know, really with our offensive line and our running backs from a protection standpoint, hey, if we can give him a little time, I know we can run by these guys, and we're able to do that a couple of different times in the third quarter.
What can this win kind of springboard for your team for this season, do you think?
Well, you know, we're going to focus on our next opponent. And, you know, obviously this momentum is big. I think a big road win like this against a ranked team, against a team that has been generally at the top of our conference, obviously gives you confidence, right? And that confidence can be such a huge factor in what we do. So confidence and momentum are some of the two biggest factors in any football team, and we've got to use both of those from this win.
Coach, it would have been, man, down 23-5, you know, and it's raining and you're taking on a team that, you know, leads the nation in total offense and they're number 11. I mean, it just would have been easy to not respond the way you guys did. But, you know, I know in watching, I think it was maybe after the safety, they had a shot of Zaven on the sideline. He couldn't have been more fired up. It just seemed like the guys, even when the breaks were not going your way and the scoreboard wasn't good, they just had really good body language and competed in a really good way. You know, and that can be, you know, when a program's 9-28, you know, in its last 37, that can make that difficult. I guess just maybe speak to how proud you probably are of that, just the way they competed.
I think that's been a characteristic of our football team all the way through. Our team is close. Our team fights for each other. We lean on each other. I think that's what our program's about. And I think that has been able to sustain us through, you know, a lot of close games. and a lot of those didn't go our way that you continue to bring up. So, but this one is a different season, right? And we've got guys on this team that believe in what we do, believe in how we do it. They believe in each other, and we're going to take advantage of that right now.
Hey, Coach, you kind of talked about the defense a little bit, but Zaven specifically, I mean, took over that first quarter, it seemed like, all over the stat sheet as well. And then for you guys to clamp down, I think only allow 3 in the second half, if I remember right. Just talk about Zaven if you can, and what can you say about him at this point, and then also the defense the second half in general.
Well, our defense has been playing lights out. I mean, they played lights out week 1. They played lights out again today. Again, they got a couple of big plays, but you're talking about the number 1 offense in the nation that we're going against tonight. And I thought our guys, whether you're talking about Zaven, whether you're talking about AG, whether you're talking about a Caleb, Jackson's in there making plays. We're getting pressure on the quarterback. J-Dub, Justin Wright made some big tackles tonight. Trayvon Reed made big tackles. C. Will made big tackles. I mean, this is a defense that really plays well with each other, right? And Zaven's an unbelievable athlete, unbelievable player, yes. But he'll be the first one to tell you that it is our defense as a whole that makes us who we are. And those guys, they're playing with a ton of confidence. They know what they're doing. They're flying around getting to the football. We're tackling as well as I've ever seen us tackle. And we're doing a great job of putting pressure on offenses.
You mentioned special teams, but how important were, you mentioned Lachlan and Zach, but, Keelan at returner, how important was all of that in a game like this?
Again, it was a 3-phase win for us. I mean, we made big plays on special teams. We made key stops on special teams. The play right after half is you can't put enough emphasis on that. Obviously we're coming out with a little bit of momentum after the drive. They're probably going in and saying, hey, we got to come back out and reestablish it. And then bang, turnover right now. We get the ball, immediately go score. The whole thing is flipped, and that all happened because of special teams. Defensively, being able to pin an offense down there inside the 5-yard line, the likelihood of an offense scoring when you start inside the 10 or inside the 5, that percentage just goes way down. And, when you're back in those situations, and we've been in those, right, it is difficult to continue to maintain drives and field position is such a huge part of this game.
Coach, I think you were sitting there whenever DT was talking about the stat that the highest ranked opponent to use one beaten since 1991 or something like that. Mm-hmm. When you hear that stat, what goes through your head?
Well, I just heard it just a little bit before y'all did. I had no idea. I'm just proud of our football team. But for us, I will tell you, there wasn't a doubt, honestly, all week long preparing for this football team that we were going to come here and get after them. This is a team we know that they're explosive. They do all of those things, but we feel like we match up well with them. We feel like we have talent that matches with theirs. And, it was all going to be decided in between the lines. And so, for us, it's a great win for our school, for our university, for our program. And I'm so happy for our players and our coaches.
It was the first 10 possessions of the game for the offense, where I think it was just a field goal was all you got out of it offensively. It seems like Zach must be kind of a rhythm guy. When he finds a rhythm, he's really dangerous. And it did take a while tonight, but I know it all works together. TK gave you a lot. There was, power run game, that being able to move the chains on the ground allowed you to throw deep. Maybe just speak to, I don't know if it was that final drive or what it was exactly, but how did the offense really begin to click in a way that was just very different than, the first half, basically?
Yeah, I think more than anything, you got to take your hats off to our offensive line and our tight ends. I thought they did a really good job of controlling the line of scrimmage. We found ways to run the football. We had some explosive runs in there. And then being able to just protect and give Zach some time, right? Some of those throws in the first half, a little bit of pressure in there where he's trying to get it out too fast. And I think more than anything, you got to remember this is game 2, right? A game 2 of our season. And, from an offensive standpoint, it takes some time to kind of get into the flow and the speed of the game and get that timing down. And I thought our receivers did a great job, but that offensive line and those tight ends and backs, they did a fantastic job of giving us some time, being able to push the ball down the field. And once those plays started happening, then the run game really started taking back over again, and we started being able to play back and forth off of those two aspects.
Hey, your defense, it has taken some steps the last couple of years, and last year it got to where I think you guys really felt like you could count on it. But it's gone to a different level, it seems now, where you just have, I would think, more confidence than you've ever had in a defense since you've been here. Absolutely.
And again, I think, we're in year 3, I believe now, of this defense. We're continuing to learn, but our guys understand what we're trying to do defensively. And, we're getting more pressure on the quarterback than we've ever got. We're doing a great job into coverage. We've got guys on the outside. Coach Fletch and Coach Buck and Coach Olsen have done a great job in the secondary about mixing and matching coverages, putting our length and our size corner-wise against guys and putting them in positions at times where they're on islands and then other times they got help. But when you're able to do that, it allows Zaven and those guys up front to really start attacking the run and really start attacking the quarterback. And when you can get that pressure on him, we probably got more hits on the quarterback tonight than that guy's had in a year. So it makes a huge difference in what we're doing.
Are we going to see a post-game locker room video posted by social media team? What was that like?
It was a great locker room. We took the bounce house into the visitors' locker room, and we were bouncing.
Anything else for Coach? We've got Zaven right here for you, and then we hope to have Zach too.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're supposed to hold Coach. I'll be right back. Zaven, ready? Is everyone unmuted now? Hopefully.
I
We're
am.
staying that way. I am not muting myself ever again.
Goodness gracious, guys.
DT, you said 1991, right?
What's that?
You said 1991 for the stat? High strength.
1991 was the last.
The
Right.
Miracle on 11th Street.
Right.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. How are you doing, man?
A little sore.
How's it feel to beat the number 11 team in the country?
It feels good. We just went out and, clicked on all cylinders. We had some times as a defense where we kind of got slow in there and kind of got complacent, letting them move the ball on us. And, we just got to learn from it. Still go out there, stick it to the man, and just keep them down and not let them get momentum. That team right there is a big momentum team. They love moving the ball. They love being up and down the field. So when you hold them steady, they don't like it. So, and that's what we did tonight. It was a good job.
You guys, especially last season, have had so many games where you were so close to getting a win, kind of like this one, and you felt heartbreakingly close a lot of times. How does it feel to finally break through and get it?
That's one thing, like, a lot of the time, especially later in the season, last season, we get down to those close games, everyone's kind of looking around going, let's not screw this up. And then we'd end up screwing it up and losing. And, like, now this game, we weren't even thinking. We were just like, let's just keep going. I don't remember anyone kind of looking around or having that sort of aura around us as a team on the sideline. It was just everyone had one goal in mind. That was to go win. Like, we didn't care how. And that was a good job by us by doing that, just staying focused.
Did that come from coaches? Did that come from players just kind of reflecting on last year?
A lot of mature players, like Allie Green, Darren Ray is a mature player, Siebel's a mature player, Jackson, the whole front three is mature. J-Dub's a little new, but he's real spastic and he don't care about really anything. he's hilarious. And so he stays focused, and we're just focused in. I think it's just due to the maturity of our defense and how we're that's how we done it.
And I think you're referencing there kind of the second half when, maybe you guys were about even with them or had the lead. But what about early, when it's 23-5 or 16-2? Well, and you guys just kept going out there and, I think showed real maturity there.
Yeah, as a defense, we kind of just told ourselves, we love it. We love it. The offense, we had it was like 25-0 or whatever it was, and I think we got a safety or something. And offense had maybe turned over the ball inside the 20 or whatever it was. We didn't really care. We don't care, because there's going to be times where we mess up something, and then the offense has to go save us, or vice versa. That happened tonight too. So that's and I think we just all stayed focused as a team, dug our feet in the ground, and stayed sturdy. And as a defense, I think we did a good job of not losing sight of what we wanted to do, and that was win.
What's contributed to you getting on the other side of the line of scrimmage so much in the 2 games so far this year?
Understanding the defense has been one of the biggest ones. I know all the ins and outs, studying film, learning, just knowing it like the back of my hand has really helped. And, of course, working on it in the off season, working on getting a good pass rush, getting the quarterback's face, knowing, don't get too far upfield. I'm just going to wash myself out and kind of retract. I got a pass break up today on that. I blocked the ball down at the line of scrimmage. And I think, Coach G just helped me along the way. I think that's really helped.
I'm sure you guys, always believed that you were this kind of team that could beat the number 11 team in the country. Is there any part of you that's kind of like, I don't know, happy you proved it to everyone else, or see, look, I told you we could be this kind of team?
Yeah, we knew we could be that team because we lost to all the teams last year, just and years before that were ranked by 2 points, 3 points, SMU by a point or whatever it was in the third overtime. We were up on them in the fourth quarter, 28-3 or whatever it was, and they come back, and we just put ourselves in a barn burner, and we ended up losing it. But we always hung with those teams. It's never been a freaking blowout, and so we knew that was that we were right there, and we're biting on the edge. And hopefully this year, we just keep with this, coming out against OSU. Of course, that gave us a bunch of confidence, and especially coming into this game. And I think this game just gives us a bunch of confidence too.
Yeah, I'm sure you knew. I mean, there were people that doubted you outside the program, though, so it's got to feel kind of good to show them.
Yeah, and there's, no matter where you go, there's going to be people doubting you. That's for sure. So,
Anything else for Zaven? Thank you. We're going to bring Zach right in.
thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hey, just a couple more notes for you. This is the 13th comeback win under Coach Montgomery, and it's the second most, 18 points. Previous was 31-0. And then this snapped a 21 home game winning streak for UCF. The last team to defeat UCF here was Tulsa in 2016. 21 game. Did I say that? 21 game home winning streak.
Mhm.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We'll get Zach right here. Shoot. How we doing?
Good.
How are you doing?
Doing good. Could be worse for sure.
Yeah. How does it feel to come back and game you were down double digits from it and knock off the number 11 team in the country?
Man, it feels great. It's an awesome feeling. Just knowing as a team that we persevered. We had a lot of adversity, early in that game, and we rallied back, we persevered, and we never stopped playing hard. And it showed. We ended up coming up on top. So couldn't be more proud of this team.
Did it feel to you, it seemed from the outside, did it feel to you like things changed with that final drive of the first half?
Yeah, I think so. We finally got some momentum right there. And, we went down there and I don't know what it was, 45, 50 seconds, something like that. We went right down the field. And I just told all the guys, hey, it doesn't stop here. We're keeping rolling. We're not going to stop. It's on from now. So I think we took that and we ran with it. We had a couple hiccups, here and there, but I think that was a big point for us in the game, just getting some momentum going.
Can you explain kind of the rhythm you found or what it was that was working kind of the rest of the way once that drive happened?
Yeah, I just think that I just started seeing it, a little better. Maybe just kind of settled down. You know, I came out and, ball slipped out of my hand early. Our defense in a rough spot. Then threw a ball that I probably shouldn't have thrown. They got picked, and started rough. I think I was just maybe pressing, a little bit, trying to, just playing outside of, my game. Once we had that drive, it's kind of settled in. I was like, all right, here we go. This is how we play. So, we just kept pounding from there.
What can a win like this do for the team for the rest of the season? Can it be a springboard?
Absolutely. I think it's definitely going to be a springboard because we had so many games last year that came down to the wire. We ended up losing, and I think the biggest thing with the team is just learning how to grind out and find that win. We finally did that against a good team, and I think that's definitely going to carry a lot of momentum for us going forward.
Can you maybe talk about the offensive line as you guys settled in there? You were able to move the ball enough on the ground, and then they were giving you time to hit some of those deep shots late.
Yeah, absolutely. They buckled down. They played their tails off, and we started getting a lot of push up front. We started really leaning on them, and once we start running the ball like that, they're gonna have to put some more people in the box, and they did. And, we took advantage of it. Our receivers running good routes, and they, like you said, they give me a lot of time back there. And whenever they do that, we're going to have guys running open. We're going to have guys getting open. So it's just them just giving me a little bit of time and, just finding my guys. So I thought we executed, pretty well definitely in the second half doing that.
You had that quarantine. We've talked about that before. You didn't have much prep time for the Oklahoma State game. In the first 6 quarters of this year for the offense were pretty rough. But when you look at the way you guys finished, and then also think about how consistent your defense seems to be, how much pressure they're getting, it really seems like the ceiling is awfully high for this team. I mean, are you guys pretty excited about the way these first 2 games have gone and what the possibilities are for this team?
Dang right. Our defense, I can't say enough about them, man. They played their tails off, OSU game and tonight for sure. And, because there was a lot of points in there where, offense, we weren't getting it done. And, they bowed their necks. They got stops, because they could have, they're a high-powered offense. So, they could have put up, a lot of points and made it a lot harder, to come back within reach. But they bowed their necks and they got the job done. They're a really tough group and like a mature group, So I think the ceiling is, super high, especially, if on offense we keep clicking like we can, just keep rolling, just keep executing, the way we can. And then defense playing the way they can, I think, I know, and we all know that, we have a great team. So we just have to go out there and show it and play like it.